Hello students, and in our first lecture of bioinformatics, we are going to discuss about important biological databases all around the world and the tools involved in them. So first we come across NCBI. So when we hear NCBI, NCBI, the biological database, it is a nucleotide biological database. So let me tell you first that the biological databases are of two kinds. They are basically nucleotide database and protein database. So when we see, NCBI is a very common name for those who work in the area of bioinformatics and computational biology. It was established in 1988 at Bethesda, Maryland in USA. So NCBI, it basically stands for National Center for Biotechnology Information. So let us come across the roles of NCBI. So its aim was to just create public databases, develop software tools for sequence analysis, and disseminate biomedical information to aid research in computational biology. So it basically means that NCBI, it creates public databases and develops software tools for sequence analysis. So we can understand that it is just, we don't need to, it is just free of cost or free of any, like, you cannot face any problem. You can perform your own sequence analysis and you can publish your own things on the site of NCBI. And it also disseminates biomedical information to aid research in computational biology. It performs research, this institute, this center, it performs research in the field of computational biology or bioinformatics. So when we look at other roles of NCBI, it provides a retrieval system, that is NTRES. It also provides resources for analysis of GenBank. So when we hear GenBank, it is basically also kind of a unit. GenBank is kind of a unit of NCBI, a biological database, and it's just a part of NCBI. And it also provides resources for analysis of another type of biological data. Now let us just... Yes. So now we come across the sequence submission. So when we come across the sequence submission, we see here Bankit. So Bankit is also a web-based GenBank sequence submission tool. So Bankit is basically a site, a place where you can submit your own sequence analysis. You can publish your own things. To use Bankit, it is necessary for submitters to connect to NCBI homepage. Bankit is the tool of sequence for simple submission. So Bankit is basically like a tool of submission. It is where you can submit your own analysis, your own things on NCBI. So basically, but what is the difference? We have two sites here. We have Bankit and we have Sequin. So what is the difference? The difference is that in Bankit, you can submit simple records like 1 or 2 just. But when you need to submit complex records, like when you have, the records have a large number of segments of DNA or multiple annotations, or they basically require increased capacity. So there we use Sequin. So when we read it here, so Bankit, it is a web-based GenBank sequence submission tool. To use Bankit, it is necessary for submitters to connect to NCBI homepage. Bankit is the tool of sequence submission for simple submission, especially when one or a small number of records are to be submitted. Bankit can be used by submitters to update their existing GenBank records. So it is, Bankit submission is basically very simple, and when you have to submit a small record or just a simple record. Now we come to Sequin. So Sequin is a standalone software created by NCBI which aids in submission and updating entries to sequence databases. It helps handling multiple submissions. So as I told you, Sequin can handle large number of submissions and provides increased capacity, as we can see over here. It provides increased capacity for complex submissions that contain multiple annotations, segments of DNA, and also like we can see like phylogenetic studies, population studies, and a special feature in Sequin is that it provides graphical viewing and editing options. So students, in our first lecture, we discussed about NCBI, its roles and everything. And in the second lecture, we are going to come across DDBJ, another nucleotide database. Thank you, and please subscribe.